How's it going, everyone? John here. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I appreciate you stopping on by. In today's video, I have on my notepad here on my monitor some things that I've been brainstorming that I want to talk to you guys about. And it's simply this: is streaming right for you? So I kind of broke it down. I didn't go into too much detail on it because this discussion could definitely go on for a really long time. We could talk about it on a stream, or we could talk about it in the comment section below. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this and kind of see how you guys feel about it, and maybe I'll spark something in you. Maybe I'll make people angry. I don't know. At this point, I just want to share this with you guys. I don't care if I offend anybody with it. So I broke it down into 3 different types of streamers. The first one is the hobbyist. So these are streamers who stream for fun. They don't care about, how many viewers they have, or how many followers they have, or how many people are watching. They play what they want to play because they want to share the experience that they're having while playing a certain game, whether it's popular, whether it's not popular. They don't care. They just want to share that interest and that experience. And it may not be a game either. It could be cooking, it could be art, it could be building something, it could be just chatting. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about a game. But those are the hobbyist streamers. They just want to have fun streaming. They don't care about all the other type of metrics that come with it. If they get affiliated, great. If they don't stream on Twitch and they stream somewhere else and they're getting at least 1 or 2 people in there every time they stream, great. Those are like the free-spirited streamers. It's what we all started out as, was the hobbyists. And then we got a taste of, when we got affiliated, or we got a taste of when we got our first donation. And then sometimes that kind of like flips the switch for some people. And they're like, oh, well, I made a donation. Or, oh, I got my first sub. Oh, this, oh, that. And you start thinking money. Or you start thinking, you could turn it into something more than just fun. Which brings me into number 2, the dreamer. These are the streamers that want to turn it into something more than just a hobby. They look for which platform is going to give them the best and quickest payout, which one will also have the best potential for growth, and they search far and wide all across the internet for advice on, how they can turn this into a full-time streaming career, turning that dream into reality, basically. So this is where a lot of people currently sit, right? But there's some of us that have exceeded that, and that is the full-timer. Now, the full-timer has a very wide scale. So on one side of the scale, you're going to have the people who decided they wanted to take that risk and quit their job, even though it might hurt them financially. But they want to try to see if they can make it. There's nothing wrong with taking risk in life. Just make sure it's a calculated risk. And if you ever needed to fall back from that risk, that you could possibly do that. Now, and not in every situation can you do that, but just if you're going to do that where you quit your job because you want to pursue streaming full-time or content creation full-time, or you want to make your own business and stuff like that, just make sure you really do a lot of homework on it and you come up with a plan B if something backfires. It's always better to have a plan B versus not having a plan at all and just screwing yourself over big time. But those, like I said, those are the people who quit their jobs to go full-time, even if it means to financially hurt them. But then you also have on the other side for the people who are absolutely just killing it, right? Those are the people that we get inspired by and we see their success and it's intoxicating. And we want to also have that same level of success doing what we love. Then you have the people in the middle of the scale. And these are the ones that are, sometimes they're making it, sometimes they're not. So it's like each month kind of fluctuates for them. And that's kind of like the realism of full-time content creation. If you're just streaming, it's never going to be consistent, right? So now that you kind of have an idea of those 3 types of streamers, the question still remains: which streamer are you? And, is streaming going to be right for you as well? So I broke it down into a few other things to kind of consider. So these are a little bit wordy for my end, so I got to pay attention to my screen. So the first one is, if you're a hobbyist streamer, you have no intentions to go beyond that, and that's perfectly okay. That means that you have other priorities in your life that weigh a lot higher, or you just enjoy the streaming as a hobby and you don't want to turn it into something because you're going to lose that enjoyment from it. Because once you start looking at it on a business side of things, you start thinking of numbers and money and, you know, playing games that you might not normally play just because they're popular and so on and so forth. So that's fine if you want to stay as a hobbyist streamer. Now, number 2, if you want to make this into something, you cannot cut corners. I cannot stress that enough. Do not cut corners. And don't stream 6+ hours a day, 5 times a week. If all you do is stream and nothing else, so like no networking, no creating content on discoverable platforms or other platforms in general to drive traffic to your Twitch or to wherever else you stream, you're going to have a very hard time reaching your goals, especially if you're streaming on non-discoverable platforms like Twitch and Trovo. So do keep that in mind. Number 3, this probably hits a lot of people. If you get discouraged by other people's success, you copy other streamers 100% to the T, you only play popular games and they end up being super saturated and you're at the very, very bottom of that directory, or you get burned out a lot, then you really just need to reevaluate, you know, who you are as a person. You need to figure out the audience that you want to capture and definitely rewatch your streams. Because if you aren't enjoying your stream within the first, like, say 5 minutes, and that's a stretch because most people only give you like the first like 15 to 30 seconds when they pop into a stream. But if you're not enjoying your stream within the first 5 minutes, then you need to change something. So if your starting soon screen is 10 minutes long, cut that down to about 2 minutes. You know, you should have your stuff prepared beforehand. So it shouldn't take you 10 minutes to get everything situated. You know, if you have to get to your setup 10, 15 minutes earlier to get all your stuff set up, then do that. But, you know, don't leave your audience waiting 10 minutes before the stream starts and then it's another 15 minutes before you get into a game. Because that just kills so much potential. So reevaluate that. See how you are with when people are watching your stream. You know, are you talkative? Are you engaging with your chat? Are you super focused on the game? Like there's things you do need to pay attention to. And each type of stream directory is going to be different. So if it's cooking or if it's just chatting and stuff like that, like there's different criteria to pay attention to. And we could talk about that in the comment section below. But it's definitely something that you're going to want to pay attention to. You know, you figure out if the audience, figure out your audience that you want to capture, rewatch your streams. You want to fix the flaws, innovate, be yourself, don't cut corners like I was saying. Keep learning and improving, but remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. I probably should have made that a second bullet because it got lost in that paragraph. Number 4 is to give yourself realistic time goals. If you didn't hit, them, like try to find out why. So, a good one that you can remember, or a good thing to remember is, if it's out of your control, you don't worry about it so much. Like, if one of your goals was to hit 5 subs for the month, and you didn't do it, and you only got 3. That's still good. You're still getting something. If you didn't get any, that's fine. Because, you know, maybe you just didn't capture the right people during that month for the stream. It's kind of the same thing with sales, right? You know, you go into a store, you're browsing, but the sales associate, you know, maybe they're only on commission. So they're going to do everything they can in the very beginning of the pitch to try to help out. And if you're just browsing and then you leave, it's the same concept as a stream. A stream is a store. Your content is the product. And if they don't like the product, they leave. But if they like the product, they follow. That could be considered like a purchase. Same thing with bits, subs, and stuff like that. You know, that's like memberships and stuff like that. So it's kind of the same wheelhouse. You just kind of have to think of it that way. You know? But you don't want to sound like a pressured salesperson, you know, where you're constantly pitching about subs and bits and stuff like that, because then you sound super desperate. You know, if you do it in a moderate way, that's fine. Whether it's something that pops up on the screen and you don't actually say it, you know, or maybe you have something on your intermission screens, or maybe there's a command that gets put into your chat and stuff like that that kind of lets people know while you're streaming and stuff like that. So there's different ways to approach it versus verbally saying it all the time. All right, where did I leave off here? Oh, and I think I have one more. Yeah, the last one. So number 5. Be realistic about what kind of streamer you are. It's fine not to have this be a career. If you do make this a career, it's no different than owning a business. So some things to keep in mind, and this is just a quick list, but if you do become either an affiliate or if you have it become your full-time job or anything like that, you're going to have to pay taxes. Your income's never going to be the same. And you're also going to have so much more competition depending on the platform of choice. You're going to have to pay for your own insurance, travel, lodging, etc. You know, all that comes out of your pocket. So unless you have a sponsor that's going to pay for your travels and your lodging and stuff like that, it's all coming out of your pocket. And not to mention, the stress is a lot higher. And numbers become a big focus. So there's a lot of things that you can see from when you started off as a hobbyist streamer. It was all about fun and engaging and just, you know, finding people that had the same interests. And then you switch over to wanting it to become a career. Now it's numbers and, you know, stress, and you're constantly streaming longer hours and stuff like that, which can also affect your health and so many other different things in your life. Like, streaming isn't the only career out there, guys. It's super appealing. Yes, it's a super appealing career. But it's not the only one that you can go for. You can try for it, right? Absolutely. Try to see if you could turn it into something if you really want to. But give yourself realistic time, like time goals. You know, maybe say, I'm going to give myself a year, or I'm going to give myself 2 years, 3 years. And if it doesn't go anywhere, then I'm just going to put my time elsewhere. And that's fine. You know? That's completely fine. You can still try to go for it to become a career. And then if it doesn't work out, just go back to being a hobbyist streamer. There's nothing wrong with that. But hopefully this kind of gives you guys a little bit of an idea of where you might sit. There's a lot of great creators out there. There's a lot of great educators here on YouTube. And if you guys ever need a list, I'll go ahead and I'll put some of them inside of the video description below if you guys check out their content. I make a lot of technical videos for streaming and stuff like that. I have a few tips and tricks videos as well. My wheelhouse is more on the tech side of things. But I'll definitely link a few creators that I say go ahead and check out. And they should help you out too. But if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to me here in the comments. You can always talk to me whenever I'm live. You can always reach out to me over on Discord or over on Twitter. But thank you guys so much for watching this video if you watched it all the way through. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and I'll see you guys in the next video or in a future stream. Take care.